Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're learning 10 super useful phrasal verbs that native speakers use all the time. Let's jump right in. Number 1, fix up. This phrasal verb means to repair something or make it look better. We use it when something is broken or old and we want to make it nice again. You can fix up a house, fix up a car, or even fix up your appearance before going out. It's all about improving or repairing things. For example, imagine your friend just bought an old house. The walls have cracks, the kitchen looks terrible, and the bathroom needs new tiles. Your friend tells you, "I'm going to fix up this house over the next few months. I'll paint the walls, install a new kitchen, and completely redo the bathroom. By the time I'm done, it'll look brand new." So here, fix up means to repair and improve the house to make it beautiful again. Here's another one. Let's say you have an old bicycle in your garage. It's been sitting there for years. The tires are flat, the chain is rusty, and the seat is torn. One weekend, you decide to work on it. You tell your family, "I'm going to fix up this old bike. I'll pump up the tires, oil the chain, and put on a new seat. Then I can ride it again." So you're repairing the bicycle and making it work properly again. Number 2, fizzle out. This phrasal verb means to gradually end in a weak or disappointing way. When something fizzles out, it doesn't end with excitement or success. Instead, it slowly loses energy and just stops. We often use this for relationships, parties, projects, or any situation that starts with energy but ends without much happening. For example, imagine you and your friends planned a big party for New Year's Eve. Everyone was excited at the beginning, but as the night went on, people started leaving early. By 11:30, only 3 people were left. You say to your remaining friends, "Well, this party really fizzled out, didn't it? I thought we'd have fun all night, but everyone left." So the party started well but ended in a disappointing, quiet way. Here's another one. Think about a new business that opened in your neighborhood. At first, everyone was talking about it. Customers were always there and the owner seemed really happy. But after a few months, fewer people came. The quality dropped and eventually the business closed. You tell someone that new restaurant had so much potential at first, but it just fizzled out after a while. Nobody goes there anymore. So the business started strong, but gradually lost energy and failed. Number 3, flag down. This phrasal verb means to wave your hand or signal to make a vehicle or person stop. You use your hand or arm to get someone's attention so they'll come to you. We commonly use this with taxis, buses, or even people passing by when you need help. For example, you're standing on a busy street corner late at night. You need to get home, but you don't have a car. You see a taxi coming down the road. You step closer to the curb, raise your arm high, and wave. The taxi sees you and pulls over. You successfully flagged down the taxi. So you signaled with your hand to make the taxi stop for you. Here's another one. Imagine you're driving on a highway and suddenly your car breaks down. You pull over to the side of the road, but your phone is dead. You need help. You see cars passing by quickly. You stand near your car and wave both arms, trying to get someone to stop. Finally, a truck driver sees you and pulls over to help. You were able to flag down a passing truck to get assistance. So you used hand signals to make someone stop and help you. Number 4, flag up. This phrasal verb means to point out something or bring attention to a problem or important issue. When you flag something up, you're making sure other people notice it and don't ignore it. This is often used in meetings, emails, or discussions when something needs to be addressed. For example, you're in a work meeting discussing a new project. Everyone seems excited and ready to start, but you notice something important. The budget doesn't include money for marketing. You raise your hand and say, "I want to flag up an issue here. We haven't included any budget for marketing, and that's really important for this project's success." So you're bringing attention to a problem that others might have missed. Here's another one. Let's say your teenager comes home from school and mentions casually that they're feeling really stressed. They say their homework load is too much and they're barely sleeping. You realize this is serious. You tell your partner, "We need to flag this up with the school." Our child is overwhelmed, and we should talk to their teachers about it. So you're pointing out an important issue that needs attention and action. Number 5, flake out. This phrasal verb means to fall asleep suddenly because you're extremely tired, or it can mean to cancel plans at the last minute. The first meaning is more about exhaustion. The second meaning is about being unreliable. Both are common in everyday conversation. For example, imagine you had a really long day at work. You came home, ate dinner, and sat on the couch to watch a movie with your family, but you were so tired. Within 10 minutes, you fell asleep right there on the couch. Your family couldn't wake you up. The next morning, your spouse says, you completely flaked out last night during the movie. You were snoring within minutes, so you fell asleep suddenly because of exhaustion. Here's another one. You made plans with a friend to meet for coffee on Saturday morning. You both agreed on 10 o'clock, but Saturday comes, and at 9:45 your friend sends a text saying, "Sorry, I can't make it today. Something came up." This is the third time this month your friend has canceled. You think to yourself, they always flake out on me. I can't rely on them anymore. So your friend canceled plans at the last minute again, showing they're unreliable. If you're enjoying this lesson and learning these phrasal verbs, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We upload new videos every single day to help you improve your English. Your support means everything. Now let's continue. Number 6, flame out. This phrasal verb means to fail suddenly and completely, especially after starting successfully. It's often used for careers, businesses, or projects that had potential but ended badly. The image is like a flame that burns brightly but then goes out quickly. For example, there was a young actor who became famous very quickly. He starred in one huge movie that everyone loved. For about a year, he was everywhere on magazine covers, doing interviews, attending fancy parties. But then he made some bad choices. He argued with directors, showed up late to sets, and turned down good roles. Within 2 years, nobody wanted to work with him anymore. People said he had such a promising career, but he really flamed out. He went from the top to nothing so fast, so his career failed suddenly after a brief period of success. Here's another one. Imagine a tech startup that got millions of dollars in funding. Everyone believed the company would change the industry. They hired lots of people, rented expensive office space, and spent money quickly. But their product didn't work as promised. Customers complained. Investors pulled out. Within a year, the company closed. You read about it in the news and think, that company really flamed out. They had everything going for them but collapsed completely. So the business failed suddenly and dramatically. Number 7, flame up. This phrasal verb means to suddenly burn more intensely or to suddenly become angry or intense. It can be used literally for fires or figuratively for emotions and arguments. When something flames up, it happens quickly and with intensity. For example, you're camping with friends in the forest. You've built a small campfire to keep warm and cook food. The fire is burning steadily, nice and calm, then your friend throws some dry wood and paper onto it. Suddenly, the fire flames up. The flames shoot higher into the air. Everyone steps back because it's so intense. You say, "Wow, that really flamed up fast. Be careful with what you put on it." So the fire suddenly burned much more intensely. Here's another one. Think about a family dinner where everyone is talking calmly. Then someone mentions politics. Your uncle and your cousin have opposite views. At first, they're just sharing opinions. But then your uncle says something your cousin disagrees with strongly. Your cousin raises their voice. Your uncle raises his voice back. Within seconds, they're arguing loudly. Your mom says, "Okay, let's change the subject before this really flames up into a big fight." So the disagreement suddenly became intense and angry. Number 8, flare out. This phrasal verb means to spread outward or widen, like when something gets broader at one end. We often use this to describe clothing, shapes, or physical objects that expand or spread out. For example, you're shopping for pants and you try on a pair of jeans. The jeans fit normally around your hips and thighs, but from the knee down, they get wider and wider. The bottom part of the jeans is much looser than the top. The style is intentional. You look in the mirror and say to your friend, "These jeans really flare out at the bottom. I'm not sure if I like this style on me." So the jeans spread outward and get wider toward the bottom. Here's another one. You're looking at a beautiful vase in a store. The vase has a narrow neck at the top where you'd put flowers, but as your eyes move down, the vase gets wider and wider. At the bottom, it's very broad. The shape is elegant. You tell the shop owner, "I love how this vase flares out at the base. It makes it look really stable and pretty." So the vase spreads outward and becomes wider toward the bottom. Number 9. Flare up. This phrasal verb means to suddenly become worse or more intense, especially for health problems, emotions, or conflicts. When something flares up, it was maybe calm before, but now it's suddenly active and causing problems again. For example, you have a skin condition called eczema. Most of the time, your skin is okay with proper care. But sometimes, especially in winter when the air is dry, your eczema suddenly gets worse. Your skin becomes red, itchy, and uncomfortable. You have to use special cream to calm it down. You explain to a friend, "My eczema tends to flare up in cold weather. I have to be extra careful with moisturizer during winter." So your skin condition suddenly became worse and more active. Here's another one. Two countries have had tension between them for years. Sometimes things are peaceful, and sometimes there are problems. Recently, there was a disagreement about borders. Both countries sent military forces to the area. News reports are calling it a crisis. People are worried about war. You're watching the news and you say to your family, "The conflict between those countries has really flared up again. I hope they can resolve it peacefully." So the political tension suddenly became worse and more serious. Number 10, flesh out. This phrasal verb means to add more details or information to something to make it more complete. When you flesh something out, you're taking a basic idea and making it fuller and more developed. We use this often for plans, stories, ideas, or projects. For example, you're working on a presentation for school about climate change. Right now, you only have a basic outline. You have the main topics written down but no details yet. Your teacher looks at your outline and says, "This is a good start, but you need to flesh out each section more. Add statistics, real-world examples, and explain why each point matters." So you need to add more information and details to make your presentation complete and strong. Here's another one. You and your friends want to take a trip together next summer. Someone suggests going to the beach. Everyone agrees it sounds fun. But that's all you've discussed, just the beach. Now you need to make real plans. Someone says, "Okay, we like the beach idea, but let's flesh out the details. Which beach? When exactly? Where will we stay? How much will it cost? Let's figure all of this out." So you need to add specific information and details to turn a basic idea into an actual plan. And that's it. Those are 10 amazing phrasal verbs that you'll hear native speakers using all the time. Fix up means to repair or improve something. Fizzle out means to end weakly or disappointingly. Flag down means to signal someone to stop. Flag up means to point out an issue. Flake out means to fall asleep suddenly or cancel plans. Flame out means to fail suddenly after success. Flame up means to burn or become intense suddenly. Flare out means to spread outward. Flare up means to become worse suddenly. And flesh out means to add details to make something complete. Practice using these in your own sentences. Try to use 1 or 2 each day in conversation or writing. The more you use them, the more natural they'll feel. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a lesson. We upload new videos every single day. I'll see you in the next one. Keep practicing and happy learning.